Guys, what's up? Green Machine Sam back with another video, and today we're doing my first rebuild of 2022 as well as on Madden 22. We're going to be doing the Houston Texans. Now, this team is very, very bad on paper. Like, I don't understand how the Jets and Jaguars are worse than this team. I understand the Jaguars had fucking Urban Meyer's their head coach, but I just don't understand how this team is literally the worst team on paper. Especially if you take Deshaun Watson off the team. It is literally the worst team on paper. We're going to go in, and I'm going to show you guys the team. Couple rules. Yes, Deshaun Watson's still technically on the team. I will get to trade him in the offseason, but he does not get to play this year. So I'm going to move him to, like, punter and keep him at punter for the whole year. So, I'm going to reorder the entire depth chart. Just do best available. It's not a very good team. For every bright spot the team has, it has equally dark spots. We're going to move Bradford Jordan up. We're going to move Nico Collins all the way up to 2. And we'll probably move somebody. They should have another wide receiver, another young wide receiver somewhere. And I'll move him up as well to probably number 3. Max Sharping should be starting, so we'll probably move him to right guard. We'll probably move Garyon Christensen to right tackle. See if Cannon has any trade value. Lane Taylor has any trade value. Jeff Driscoll, he's going to be my fullback because fuck you. He was the 5th tight end. I decided he's going to play fullback since they do not have a fullback. So that's cool, I guess. Running backs. Wow, the worst fucking running back by committee in the league. I understand Rex Burkhead just had an amazing game. But 82 speed in Madden, are you going to be playing fucking fullback for me? Like, Jesus Christ. Royce Freeman, he was supposed to be something special in Denver. They decided that he wasn't worth it. David Johnson, if this was 2016, this would be fucking dope. Brandon Cooks, I don't understand why Brandon Cooks gets hate. He's been good like every single fucking season. You can say he's been worse since he got hit that one time in the Super Bowl from Malcolm Jenkins when he got hit. But he's still like a really good wide receiver. He got traded like 3 times in 3 years, and he had 1,000 yards in each of the seasons he got traded, which is just insane. I guess back to the offense real quick. So the only bright spots, and especially if we're going to be trading Deshaun Watson away because of the allegations, the only bright spots is literally Brandon Cooks. I really like Reverend Jordan. Anytime I do a franchise, the one time I've done a franchise this year, I didn't record it. I traded for Reverend Jordan. He was fucking great as the second tight end. Laremy Tunsil's cool. Some of the offensive linemen are aging a little bit, but they're still in okay shape. But it's really weird. There's bright spots like Laremy Tunsil, Brandon Cooks, and then there's just veterans and aging out veterans basically on this team, it seems like. The defensive line, Jonathan Gennard and Ross Blacklock, I both like. They do have Roy Lopez as well. He's okay. He'll probably move up to number 2. We'll probably move Blacklock to number 1. Jacob Martin's fine, but not good. So, defensive line needs to develop. I did do something, though, before we got started. I did move Desmond King to strong safety. He played safety with the Chargers. I'm going to move him back to safety so that we can just shore up our safeties, have 2 really good safeties, and then we can just move on from that and start looking at cornerbacks right away. So we moved Lonnie Johnson back down to corner. Linebackers is a complete disaster. Kirksey's fine. I've liked him for years. Kruger Hill's okay. Kevin Pierre-Louis, whatever. There's nobody special in this linebacking core. There's nobody worth mentioning is going to be sticking around for years. Same with the corners. I think Lonnie Johnson is coming off contract soon. Most of these guys are older, in their late 20s, if not mid to late 20s. So the defense, besides the safeties, everybody's probably going to be gone by the time this rebuild's over. Grenard, if he develops correctly, he could still be here at the end of the rebuild, but I don't expect him to be. Kicker and punter, Fairbairn and Johnston. There's a reason why the Eagles let Johnston go. Fairbairn's okay. Kicker's not that important. I'm just going to take whoever's cheapest, really, as long as they're above like a 73, 74 overall. Like I said, I haven't went through. I just went ahead and generated the best lineup I could. So I will go through and try to get people in positions that I want them to be. We're probably just going to put people in positions that I want them to develop. I'm not going to put people in positions just to have the best lineup. We're not looking to win games this year. We're just looking to develop and then get some of these contracts off our boards. We're going to go ahead, go take a look at the contracts as well. Going to see who's coming off, who is expensive, and who I would be looking to get rid of. So, we're losing a bunch of no names, of course. I'm not going to go through all of them once we get to more important people. Tyrod Taylor's coming off contract this year. He probably won't be back. He'll regress too much. Akins, I'm not worried about. We got Brevin Jordan. Garyon Christensen, if he develops that right tackle, we could keep him. Everybody else, I'm not really looking to retain. Justin Britt, we could maybe try to trade, see if somebody has value in him. We can probably trade Kirksey if we really wanted to, keep Eric Wilson instead. He was supposed to be really good because wasn't he with the Vikings and Michael Kendricks? No, not Michael Kendricks. Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr went down a year or two ago, and he played pretty well for them. We're also losing Desmond King. I would like to retain him. He is only 26. Justin Reid, of course, I'm definitely retaining. But outside of that, I'm not keeping Amendola around. He might not even make it out of the preseason. And everybody else, I probably won't retain either. Now let's take a look at the biggest cap hits of this year. Deshaun Watson, of course, we are going to negate the cap penalty when we do trade him. There in the NFL, you can actually get around that stuff by certain trade dates. But in Madden, you can't because it's not a very well-developed game mode. Laremy Tunsil, of course, we're going to keep around, but paying him $26 million really hurts. Marcus Cannon, we'll try to trade. Eric Murray, trade him as well if we can. Brandon Cooks, I don't mind paying him $15 next year. It's just everything after that's going to be difficult justifying. And then everybody else, not very big cap hits. They do have $82 million. A lot of the guys that are on contract for the next year or two aren't very much. Cameron Johnson could get moved off of based on his cap hit and everything. So what I'll probably do when I do trade Deshaun Watson is go in, change his contract so we don't get a penalty, and then once he is on his team that we do trade him to, we will put his penalty back up. With that being said, guys, let's get into the rebuild. I'm going to make 3 trades, hopefully. I'm not going to do any more than 3 trades at the beginning of the season, and then we'll move to the midseason mark, see if anybody that is coming off contract still needs to be moved, and then we'll go from there. Like I said, we're moving Deshaun Watson to punter, so he doesn't play because of the allegations as of right now, because we are kind of simming the 2021 season. So let's get into it. With this trade, we're trading Justin Britt, Malik Collins, and Lane Taylor for Preston Williams, a 3rd and a 4th round pick, the 3rd of next year and a 4th of this year. Justin Britt and Malik Collins are both coming off contract. I can't remember if Lane Taylor is, but they do offer the Dolphins a little bit of help on the offensive line and the defensive line. With this trade, we're trading Tyrod Taylor, Jordan Akins for a 3rd of this year, a 5 of next year, and a 7 of next year. This is the most I can get out of this trade. With this trade, we're sending Marcus Cannon, Camus, Gruger, Hill, and Hewitt to the Bills for Cody Ford, AJ Epineza, and Carlos Basham. Okay, let's get started. Week 1 of the NFL season, of the 2021 NFL season. So we're going to show off the team, and then we'll hop in and sim to the mid-season mark. As you guys know, we made 3 trades, all of them including AJ Epineza, Carlos Basham Jr., Cody Ford. We also brought in Preston Williams, and we got a ton of picks as well. So, David Mills is going to be our quarterback, as well as Cole McDonald from Hawaii. If you guys don't know, he was in my Panthers franchise 2 years ago. Fucking dope player. Running backs, not good, like I said. David Johnson, Rex Burkhead, and Royce Freeman. I normally carry 4. We're not carrying 4 because we had to take an extra slot for Deshaun Watson to still be on the team. At wide receivers, we have Brandon Cooks, Preston Williams, and Danny Amendola at the 1, 3, and 5. And then at the 2 and 4, we have Nico Collins and Chris Conley. Brevin Jordan's going to be starting at tight end with Pharaoh Brown and Austin Eckler. Garyon Christensen at right tackle, Cody Ford at right guard, Max Sharping at center, Titus Howard at left guard, and Laremy Tunsil at left tackle. The backups don't really matter. They're probably all going to be gone by the end of the season. At the defensive line position, we have Jonathan Grenard, Carlos Basham Jr., Jordan Jenkins, Roy Lopez, Ross Blacklock, DeMarcus Walker, and Vincent Taylor. AJ Epineza, and Jacob Martin. At corner, it's not very great, and it's basically the same as you guys saw earlier. As well as the linebacking core, we moved Eric Wilson out to right outside linebacker, brought in Ryan Anderson, and then at safety, nothing has changed. Special teams don't really matter all that much. You know what happens. I put the fourth tight end at long snapper, and then move just whoever I want to kick returner. Brandon Cooks is going to be in the slot because I want to force feed him the fucking ball because he's going to be the only weapon that matters over the next couple years. Nico Collins and Danny Amendola are going to back him up. David Johnson's a good all-around back if you want to sim, if you want him to be like your second back, but he's not going to be great for us here today because he is just not very good anymore. Lonnie Johnson, Terrence Mitchell, and Eric Murray in the slot. Jonathan Gennard starting, Ross Blacklock, and AJ Epineza as the rush guys. We decided to move Eric Wilson above Christian Kirksey. So, at the mid-season mark, we are 1-6 going up against the LA Rams in Week 8. I decided to stop it early just in case I wanted to make any last-minute trades. I'm not sure I'm going to make anything. I might look through and see if anybody has any real value and then see if I want to trade them off. Negotiations are Justin Reid, Desmond King, Danny Amendola, and a bunch of backup level players for the most part. We do end up bringing back Justin Reid on a 7-year deal worth $7.5 million a year, no signing bonus. We also end up bringing Desmond King back on a 7-year, $70 million deal, no signing bonus included. Michael Owenu was sitting on the trade block, so I decided to trade Garyon Christensen and Eric Wilson for Michael Owenu and a 4th-round pick. This is a great opportunity to upgrade right tackle, and it solidifies right tackle for years to come. Okay, end of the season. Finally here, 4-13 is our final record, and let's just go over the 2021 season recap. I just decided to go to the offseason. We all know we weren't making the playoffs, let's be real. So MVP, Tom Brady, Coach of the Year, Griffin Murphy, the Patriots, so basically Bill Belichick, Offensive Player of the Year, Tom Brady, Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald, Mac Jones, and Micah Parsons. Rounded out, Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens win a Super Bowl over the Matt Stafford-led Rams. Decided to go after a couple people here, including Chris Godwin, Younghoe Koo, and many others to solidify a couple needs. Running back and offensive line is our two biggest needs right now. Some of these guys are going to be older. They're going to be bridge players. Some of them younger, hopefully developing into key starters in our near future. Everybody else will be career backups and just solidifying the team so I don't have to worry about it in later dates. Free agency is now wrapped. We ended up getting Chris Godwin, Devontae Freeman, Cairo Santos, Ben Jones, B.J. Hill, Williams, Keanu Neal, Ben Burkervin, Quincy Wilson, Lil Jordan Humphreys, Kenny Robinson, Kamal Martin, Dane Jackson, Gabe Neighbors, Tanner Muse, Evan Brown, Brandon Knight, and Tyler Huntley. All of these guys are going to be perfect backups for our team. Since free agency is wrapped, we decided to trade Deshaun Watson to the Chicago Bears. They were one of the only teams that could handle his money, as well as we get a 1, 2, and a 3. I could have gotten more, but I figured that is good enough. At pick number 2 in the draft, we're going to take Hunter Driver here, quarterback out of Ohio State. He's a little undersized, but he does have the speed and hopefully the arm talent to make up for it. Going to trade back here with the Ravens. I just don't see any value on the board that we need to take right away. I understand we have a lot of holes to fill, but I'm not going to take somebody earlier than I need to. Will Bowden is our next pick. He's just the best player available. He's going to be a tight end. I know we have Brevin Jordan, but you got to take the best available, and he's too good to pass up on. Julian Carter here next. He's a power back. We know that from some of his skills, but hopefully he can develop into much more than that and become our lead workhorse back. We're going to take Jamal Blake here, 5'8", wide receiver out of Clemson, 23 years old, so he's a little bit older than average, but hopefully he can be that slot guy or at least our number 3. Quincy Proctor, or at least I hope that's how you say his name, cornerback out of Clemson, 2 Clemson guys back-to-back for us. Hopefully he'll be a shutdown guy. Tyler Savage out of Michigan, 6'3". He's going to have length. He's going to have size, so hopefully he can use that size to his advantage, lock up bigger threats, and be a very good shutdown corner. Franklin Hunter, middle linebacker. He looked okay. I'm going to take a flyer on him. Hopefully he can be at least a backup. Looking at the draft recap, Hunter Driver, franchise-level quarterback. Development is going to be key for all these guys. Will Bowden looks like a guy that could develop within a couple years and start. Julian Carter, I wish was a little bit more balanced. Jamal Blake's going to be that speedy, deep threat that we need. And then Proctor and Savage, both are starting-level corners, but they need to develop. Franklin Hunter won't even make it past the preseason. David Mills, Kevin Pierre-Louis, and a 5th-round pick from Matthew Ioannidis. This gets us a starting defensive tackle for years to come. Titus Howard, Max Sharping, and Jaquan Hardy for C.J. Henderson, and a couple cap relief players from the Panthers. Jimmy Moreland, Raquel Armstead, and a 7th-round pick gets us Elijah Moore, and he's going to be competing for a starting job right away on this team. Tyler Huntley, Jordan Jenkins, and Lev Bell for Levante David. He was on the trade block. Figured this is an instant upgrade at only $6.5 million in a cap hit. A 6 for Cleek Hudson. Don't ask why. He's just going to come in and play. We need another middle linebacker / linebacker in general. Lonnie Johnson straight up for Kelvin Joseph of the Cowboys. If you guys enjoy this content or any of my other content, please stick around, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll be back with more videos. I had to split this up into 4 parts. My internet just could not handle the almost 3 gigabyte upload size. With that being said, I'm out. Peace. Today